Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. It was an interesting week 12. I went 12-4. You went 9-7.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey man, I made some bold picks here, man. And it came, well, some of them they kind of fell flat. But I had some interesting picks that I made, and I was right on them. I felt good about that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I want to hear these.
Okay, well,
bold picks.
well, I mean, I wouldn't call them bold picks, but they were questionable. It was just like, well, who's going to win this game? I'll get to them. But anyway, right, we had the Thursday game, the Lions at home against the Packers. We both went with the Lions, and man, the Lions, I mean, they just blew it, yo. They came out flat and allowed the Packers to win this game, to dominate this game, really. You know, so
I let people talk me into telling me how good of a team Detroit is. And I was always wary of it, especially when they went to Baltimore and got smacked, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I think they are who I thought they were, you know.
I still think they're a good team. I think they played down to the competition. And like I always say, when you're playing a division rival, they know you. You know what I mean? And those games are tricky to call. Like, I nearly made the mistake on this next game with the Cowboys against the Commanders. Remember I said I'm feeling the Commanders as the divisional game? Yeah. And you say, no, we always stump the Commanders.
Right, we're going to thump them.
Yeah. And I mean, you didn't just stump them. You made them quit. I mean, they were literally waving the white flag.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, after Sam Howell threw that pick six, it was like the Commanders, they were like, that's enough. We give up. I mean, it was like that scene in Rocky 4 where old boy was like, throw the damn towel.
Right.
That's what Ron Rivera looked like. Throw the damn towel. So yeah. So yeah, the Cowboys won this game 45-10. We both went with the Cowboys. I mean, that was pretty easy.
That was pretty easy. For me, it was pretty easy. It wasn't a decision.
Yeah, I didn't think y'all would win by the line was 11, but I didn't see y'all winning by. I think
I commented we win by 20.
Yeah,
20.
you did. You did. Jeez. All right. Next, we had the Seahawks at home against the 49ers. This was a bold pick by me. I went with the Seahawks. You went with the 49ers, and the 49ers won this 31-13. No contest.
Yeah, I mean, it just went just where I thought it would.
Yeah.
The defense is too good. Geno being Geno.
Yeah.
Geno. I will continue to say that. Geno.
Yeah. And Christian McCaffrey had 114 yards rushing, quietly leading the 49ers to an easy win over the Seahawks. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know which Seahawks team is going to show up. So we'll see. All right. And then the Friday game, the Black Friday game, we had the Jets at home against the Dolphins. We both went with the Dolphins. We knew they were going to win this game.
That was an easy pick.
That was an easy pick.
I thought that was going to be 4 winners for me that week. I had my bets going, and I just thought that was 4 winners in a row right there going into the weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I felt good about these picks too, man. But I was really disappointed by the Lions. I thought the Lions were gonna, because you know what? Historically, the Lions have played terribly on Thanksgiving, but I thought that was just because they had bad teams. But I think it's something with the Lions, being home Thanksgiving. Maybe that's the problem. I won't pick the Lions again because they're always the home team on Thanksgiving, and they don't play well. Yeah, so is Dallas, right? But it seems like it's better for the away team to come in and beat the Lions because the Lions are probably playing at a disadvantage. They're spending time at home, Thanksgiving. They got all that stuff going on, all the responsibilities regarding Thanksgiving and family, whereas the visiting team, they don't have that to worry about. And maybe that factors into it. So I'll keep that in mind. But anyway, Dolphins won this game. Jaden Waddle had 114 yards. Tua had 243. Mostert had 94. So Dolphins kind of dominated this game. And Zach Wilson has been benched and moved to third string. So,
yeah, man. You want to talk about bad? Now watch them.
yeah. So, yeah, they're going to be bad. So,
yeah.
I mean, well, maybe. I mean, it can't get any worse than Zach Wilson. So maybe they get a little bit better. I don't know.
I think you can get a little worse than
you
him.
think so? I don't know. I mean, look at the Giants. They look like they're playing better with DeVito. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they had like a back and forth low scoring game, but we'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to them. Anyway, next we had the Falcons at home against the Saints. Oddly enough, in this game, the line had changed. So when we made our pick on Tuesday of last week, the Falcons were 1-point favorites. Well, they were 1-point favorites because there was a question on whether or not Derek Carr was going to play, because Derek Carr was still in concussion protocol at the time. Well, once he was able to get out of concussion protocol, the line changed to the Saints being the favorite, away favorites at 2 points, oddly enough. Yeah. And oddly enough, Derek Carr is the reason we lost the game. So maybe our chances were better. The line should have jumped up in favor of the Falcons when Derek Carr got out of concussion protocol, because it ain't help us with him being out on the field. The dude had a pick six and couldn't get in the end zone, which is, oddly enough, is the issue he's had all throughout his career. He can't score touchdowns in the red zone. So killing us. But I tip my hat to the Falcons. They played well, just like I thought. Bijan Robinson is the truth. They throw to Cardell Patterson back there to run the ball. They got Tyler Algiers running the ball. And then, of course, Desmond Ridder can run the ball. So they just killed us on the ground. There wasn't much we could do. So.
Yeah, man. That game was just it was kind of an ugly game. But I did think that once Derek Carr came back in the game, came back, was ruled in, I thought they would have a little more oomph.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought they would, but nah.
Well,
still end up.
Well, I noticed since it was the Colts game where they deployed the plan of letting Derek Carr basically run the offense until they got in the red zone, and then Taysom Hill will run the offense in the red zone. And that seemed to work, right? We scored a ton of points against the Colts. And then I noticed against the Bears game, they didn't do it. They didn't do it so much there. They still ran a few plays with Taysom Hill running the quarterback. Matter of fact, that was one of the 3 touchdowns we had in the last 32 possessions.
Right.
But in the Vikings game, they didn't do it at all. And then in the Falcons game, they didn't do it at all. So it's like I don't know who this team is. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. They have no identity. I don't know. I think if they lose this next game, I think all hell is going to break loose, because the players are getting sick of this. Alvin Kamara has already come out and made some comments about it. So, like, if this game against the Lions gets ugly, expect some changes. All right. Next, we had the Bengals at home against the Steelers. You and I both went with the Steelers. Hey, no Joe Burrow, no Bengals. So Steelers won this game 16-10. And I think they had the Steelers put up 400 yards of offense, which is an improvement. They still got to work out the points. They only got 16, but seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, their offense did not look good. It was it almost felt like they were still trying to lose watching that game. They didn't thoroughly dominate like would, with the quarterback situation for Cincinnati, but they came through. I mean, I picked them. I thought they'd win. They did, but I mean, it was all about the quarterback at that point.
Right. Yeah, I know they made a change with the coordinator, but they're still having problems getting the ball in the end zone. So yeah, we'll see. All right, next we had the Titans at home against the Panthers. I know this was the one that you and I talked about a little bit about who to go with. You went with the Panthers, and I went with the Titans, and the Titans won this game 17-10. After this game, the Panthers, I won't say after the game, just today, the Panthers fired their head coach after 11 games. Like, what is going on? And there's rumor that Frank Reich wanted C.J. Stroud. Yeah, and that seems to be an issue with this team. So, yeah, I'm sure he probably looking at the highlights and seeing what C.J. Stroud is doing is like, man, I could have had this dude.
Yeah, man. And it was that was and before the draft came, C.J. Stroud was the favorite to be number one pick overall. But like in the last 3 weeks or so before the draft, something happened. And I guess the owner must have put out there he wanted Young. And then all of a sudden, Young was the number one favorite to number one overall. And I was like, what happened there? How did it change like that and the same team is still there?
Right.
Usually if there's some team trades up, then I'm like, oh, well, they must have had a different person they wanted to get, at number one. The same team stayed there, and the first number one overall pick changed, like as far as who was the favorite to be number one.
Right.
And I thought it was very, very interesting. Like, why did that happen? And now this is coming out, and I'm like, oh, that explains it. Frank Wright was probably expressing how he wanted C.J. Stroud, and that's what's going down. And then all of a sudden, the owner leaked out, no, we're picking this guy.
Let's go into the next one. So we had the Colts at home against the Bucks. I went with the Colts. You went with the Bucks. Colts won this one 27-20, and the game really wasn't that close. The Colts dominated this game.
Yeah. Bucks never led. They came back to make it kind of look sort of respectable, but they dominated this game.
Yeah. All right, next we have the Giants at home against the Patriots. Man, I still got the eraser marks here. I was going with the Giants. I had a feeling that the Giants would win this game, but I went with the Patriots with you. I thought Bill Belichick would do something about this rookie quarterback, and he did not. The Giants won this game 10-7. Ugly game to watch, but yeah.
And it literally could have went either way. I mean, it wasn't like, the Giants dominated. It was, you know what I'm saying? It really could have went either way. It was a close game the whole time, as you can see by the score. Nobody really scored any points to be away.
Right.
But yeah, it was an ugly offensive game.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great defensive game, just an ugly offensive game.
Right. It really hard to watch. All right. Next, we had the Texans at home against the Jags. You and I both went with the Jags. You and I both went with the Texans, and the Jags won the game.
Texas, that's right.
Yeah, we both went with the Texans. Jags won 24-21. I still like what the Texans are doing. But the Jags own this division, so it's still competitive. It was only one game between the two, so they still got a shot at this.
Yeah, man. Stroud, and that's another thing with Stroud too. He's getting away with these picks, these inopportune interceptions that he's throwing. Not only is he throwing it, he's throwing them at inopportune times. And a lot of times, even the ones games he's won, he's threw pick sixes in those games when the game was in crunch time. So that's another reason that got Dak in over there on my MVP race over time.
Yeah. Well, I think he started out pretty well. Like the first 4 games of the season, he didn't have any picks. Yeah, his first pick came against the Saints. So it seems like he's thrown a pick in every game. There was some games he didn't, but there was some games he threw 2 picks. So he's got 5 interceptions on the season. Yeah, but still impressive for a rookie.
Oh no, he's doing some. And what I like the most about him is seeing his pocket presence.
Right.
He feels where the pressures come, and you can see him step up in the pocket and just slide away from the pressure, and then he'll take off running.
Right.
That's something you don't really see in rookies like that.
Right. They're able to feel that pressure.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah. All right, next we had the Broncos at home against the Browns. You and I both went with the Broncos. I think Sean Payton's got something here, man. Broncos are on a roll. 6-5 now.
Real roll.
Yeah.
Is this a 6 game straight that they won?
I think it's 5 straight.
5 straight. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
five
Okay.
straight. Yep.
Yeah, what can I say? Russ is cooking now, man. What can I
Yeah.
say? He was looking good. There's no other way to put it around it. He was looking good in that game. I was like,
Well, he was all right. I mean, they dominated this game. I mean, I guess he just didn't have to work so hard. He threw for 134 yards. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
I mean, he was going through. It's just that he was making a good run decision. Like he would
right.
run. He would pass when he needed to pass. They were running the ball. They were in control pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
And then, Dorian Thompson just wasn't. He wasn't moving the ball.
Yeah, then I kind of figured that the Browns' offense is probably going to be stalled. With
that was such
Thompson at quarterback.
That was such an easy under to call.
Yeah, and my thing is, being that Sean Payton was the head coach of the Saints, he understands how to win and how to win ugly. His thing is, it may not look pretty, you may not, and I'm speaking of the last couple of years with the Saints when Drew Brees, his arm basically started to fail him. And we weren't putting up a lot of points, but we were winning just by playing, smart football, winning football. And so I think the Broncos are doing that, and they're doing that with less talent. I mean, Sean Payton got rid of a lot of the talent, traded it away, cut people. So they're doing a lot more with less. All right. Next, we have the Cardinals at home against the Rams. You went with the Cardinals for some reason. I went with the Rams, and the Rams won this game 37-14. It wasn't close.
Yeah, they crushed them. But the thing was, I just didn't. I mean, look at what the Rams been doing the last few weeks. They weren't looking like gangbusters, And I thought that the Cardinals could at least move the ball some on that defense, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
And I still don't know what's happening with Cooper Kupp because they're doing this without Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to have to look that up. Is he injured again?
No, he's not injured. They just not throwing on the ball like they did. Like he used to get 12, 13 targets a game. And for some reason, they're just not throwing the ball. Nuka Puka. He the one taking over.
I'm going to need you to learn to pronounce the man's name.
I know. I'm going to get it. I hate telling people's name wrong, but I kind of fun with Pika Pika.
All right, man. Next, we had the Raiders at home against the Chiefs. We both went with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs won this game 31-17. I was on the fence. I was thinking about picking the Raiders, and I was like, you know what? I trust Patrick. Patrick will figure out a way to win this game because his receivers are letting him down. But yeah, Chiefs won this game.
I mean, the Raiders are playing better, and Chiefs are not playing as good, but it's not that much of a
right. They're still far better, right?
Yeah.
All right. And in the game of the week, the Eagles at home against the Bills. The Eagles won this game in comeback fashion in overtime, 37-34. I actually cut this game off because I thought the Bills had it in the bag. It's like, oh, the Bills got this.
Looked like it, man. I mean, Bills just couldn't move the ball, but they needed to move it. It's simple. I mean, all they had to do is get another first down. One more first down, and they stopped them. And then that dude Elliott, boy, that was incredible. Kick a 69-yarder in those conditions, man. That was right. He said, "There's no way he's making this. There's no way he's making this." And he booted it right through. He had a couple yards to spare too. Yeah, he was off to the side, but he had more length on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Pulse, but he could have kicked it further.
And Jalen Hurts was just sitting there, just like, okay. No excitement.
Right. Yeah, just
jump up.
I'm a collective. Come up the thing. He would, yeah.
None of that.
He just grabbed the helmet, came back out. Yeah. I'm just going to go down here and I'm gonna run in for the winning touchdown.
Yeah. Look like we got to do a little overtime here. All right. Yeah. Another day, another dollar. Real cool.
At the job.
Yep. All right. Next, we had the Chargers at home against the Ravens. We both went with the Ravens. Ravens won this game 20-10. Like I said, I don't trust the Chargers coaching staff. I don't care who they could have been playing the Cardinals. I would have won. I mean, this team is loaded with talent and can't.
Yeah,
win.
man.
Jeez.
Yeah. They're wasting Herbert's talent right now.
Yes.
He's the truth. I still believe that Herbert is the truth.
I still believe it is true. But yeah, this coaching staff, they're gonna have to make a change. And I don't know how you feel about Kellen Moore, but I would assume Kellen Moore is struggling, running his offense with a great quarterback like Herbert.
Well, that's his offense, and I believe they are bad. They are worse since he's got there. I think they're worse than they were last year. So
yeah,
Kelly got some explaining to do.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, the Monday night game, we had the Vikings at home against the Bears. This was my bold pick. Vikings were 3.5-point favorites, so this is a bold pick. And the Bears pulled it out 12-10. I told you Josh Dobbs, Cinderella story was coming to an end.
But I mean, it's still, that's the thing. It was, the turnover margin was 4-1, and they still barely won. It was like, who wanted to lose? That's what they were playing to lose. It seemed like, man, it was such a bad game. Another easy under.
Yeah, it was, but I didn't say the Bears were any good. I just knew the Vikings were going to screw this up some kind of way.
Well, they did. They damn sure did. Yeah. Those interceptions, I'm not gonna blame them all on Dobbs, but yeah, some of them were definitely on. Two of them were definitely on Dobbs. The other ones kept getting patted up.
Yeah, right. They were tipped up. So yeah, you can't put that all on Dobbs. So
yeah, but he wasn't doing like his Dobby thing he'd been doing the last few weeks though. But
yeah, he wasn't running much.
Come down.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap this thing up. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.